Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Homan is the point person for cooperating with state and local authorities and corresponding with them, again, to achieve this level of cooperation to subdue the chaos on the streets of Minneapolis. And I would just point out that Mr. Homan is someone who has been lauded for many, many decades for his experience working in law enforcement. In fact, this is a Washington Post headline from 9 years ago, 2016. Meet the man the White House has honored for deporting illegal immigrants. And I would remind everyone in this room that it was former President Barack Hussein Obama who awarded a medal to Mr. Homan. So he's obviously very qualified. He has the full trust and faith of the president. He will continue to have these meetings in the hopes that ICE and local law enforcement can cooperate and work together to have successful immigration enforcement, as we've seen in almost every other state across the country.
Yeah, baby, they're sending in Tom Homan, baby. I'm going to explain why this is a good thing. I know you're kind of freaked out. You wanted the Insurrection Act. I get it.
Trump's new borders are will clean up the mess. The mess Kamala, she did not address. Open borders, he will abort.
Here we go.
And illegals, he will deport. Thomas Homan, he will say no, ma'am. You must go, man. Mexico, man. You're headed back. Thomas Homan, he's a former cop. Border jumpers, Tom is gonna stop. Used to be in charge of ICE. To illegals, Tom will not be nice. Thomas Homan, they ought to know, man. He's not a showman. Thomas Homan will kick you out.
You better start packing now.
Thomas Homan, he is your foe, man.
Now, you know, I understand that you were upset yesterday, and I was a little shocked because you're thinking, oh my God, Donald Trump is capitulating. Oh my God, everything's over. Oh, the left are going to be dancing around a victory dance and all day. No. I understand. I want to kick some Antifa butt too. Don't get me wrong. I want to see those little idiots get a spanking. We got a couple things going on here. Donald Trump just diffused the leftist rage machine in Minnesota. He just diffused the leftist rage machine in Minnesota. They had been completely fired up. They were, and there's, by the way, a massive scandal with regard to these signal chat groups going all the way up to the lieutenant governor of the state of Minnesota, in a lot of trouble, in serious hot trouble, like the possibility of even some, what do they call it, felony murder charges that could go all the way up to the lieutenant governor of the state because they were active in what essentially was an insurrection. So there's that, okay? There is that. But Donald Trump diffused the leftist rage mob that was there to cover up the massive fraud that is happening in the state of Minnesota. So what he did essentially was, remember that scene in Braveheart when you had the Mel Gibson's line of the army there mooning the other side and waving at him and making fun of him and all that, and enraging the other side. Well, that's what Donald Trump just did, and then these idiots started charging, and Donald Trump's army disappeared, and now there's nothing there. Now there's nothing there to fight. So here's what happened the last 6 weeks. Remember the thing that I told you about when the left exposes its flank, you can kick their rear end. I'll just say rear. I'll be polite today. Whenever the left exposes its flank, we kick its butt. And what did we expose? Well, we exposed massive fraud. We exposed, the invasion of a church. We exposed now this massive cabal of state officials involved with lay people and organizations funded by outside groups outside of the country to ignite rage and violence with the populace and leftist agitators that come into the city. Look at it, was all exposed. And now what we got here is that ICE is really basically taking care of most of the people in the Minneapolis area who were illegal alien criminals. There's still, I think 1,200, I think. And now it looks like Tim Walz and Jacob Fry are going to turn them over without ICE having to find them after they've been released. Okay, so we got that going on. We've got now, there's some kind of fun happening. This is, let me see if I can find this real quick here. Oh, yeah, this is the Minnesota State Patrol has been activated to take down these idiots who are outside of hotels, busted in the doors and whatnot to get at the ICE agents.
You are now under arrest. Please sit down and wait for instruction.
So now state officials are going after these idiot ICE protesters attacking hotels and stuff. So ICE doesn't have to do it. Yeah, how about that? How about the State Patrol now helping out, ending this nonsense? So you've got this giant army of idiots who came into Minneapolis from around the country, and Donald Trump has just pulled the rug out from under them. What are they going to protest now? The IRS and DOJ going into Somali daycare centers and raiding them and taking their paperwork and records to show that they have fraud? Are they going to raid churches? Are they going to go into churches and say, "Oh, stop investigating the fraud"? Really? And they've already moved on to Chicago, by the way. The idiot mayor of Chicago has an approval rating that is about the same as the wind chill temperature in Chicago, -6. And so they're doing it there now. So look what he did. He's actually humiliated the left. Greg Movino's going to stay on. He's just moving out. Tom Homan is moving in. And trust me, the left does not want to bleep with Tom Homan.
Well, first of all, the operation, I'm extremely happy. And this should come as no surprise to the American people.
Yeah.
You and I spoke months ago.
Yeah.
I made a promise that we will flood the zone of every sanctuary city in this country.
We're doing it too,
thousands of more agents, 10,000 more agents because of the big, beautiful bill. Why Minneapolis? Why are they being prioritized right now? Because billions of dollars fraud has been uncovered. And what they need to be concerned with, Tim Walz says he's not going anywhere. Well, either am I.
Nope.
Either is President Trump.
Nope.
Either is Pam Bondi.
Nope.
Either is Kristi Noem. So we're there because of the priority census, right? But that show is going on the road. So if the Democrats are having a fit now, you better get counseling, because this is about to get a hell of a lot bigger throughout this nation.
There you go. Yes, sirree. It's about to get a whole lot bigger across the country. This is pretty cool stuff. And I know, like I said, I know you were freaked out about it yesterday. Again, I was a little, I wouldn't say quite gobsmacked. I wasn't gobsmacked. I was a little surprised. And then, of course, if you look at the news headlines, Donald Trump withdraws. Donald Trump does it. No. Now, this is the 3D chess match we've been talking about. Here is Tom Homan calling out Mika Brzezinski this morning.
I see on the show this morning you have Governor Healy talking about ICE doing enforcement operations at a church. False. Didn't happen.
They were parked there. They did not do an operation there. She said they were parked in a pub.
To push that out there puts fear in the immigrant community. So let me tell you what's happening.
To do that puts fear in the community. Right. To park the ICE agent's vehicle
they're on a
near
public
a church.
street.
They are on a public
street.
She said
they're on a public street
sir.
waiting to...
Actually, that wasn't this morning. That was a different cut that I wanted. Here is actually, this is kind of good news. Now, I want you to listen to this, because the Democrat Party has been caterwauling, doing all this nonsense in Minnesota. And Jimmy Kimmel last night, murder, oh my God. Oh, he was crying like a baby last night because of, Alex Pretty and Renee Good, and of course his well-fluffed crowd was there to, they don't even, after the show, they won't even remember the names of the people that they're talking about. But he was whining and crying last night, and the left is trying to convince you, all the talking heads, that, ICE is so terrible, and the people are turning against this. They don't want illegals deported, and no, they do actually. This is Harry Inton.
Yeah, sometimes I like blunt questions because they sort of get at the underlying feelings that people have. So this is about as blunt a question as you can
Go
get.
ahead, yeah.
Deport all immigrants here illegally. I will note the ABC News poll asked about undocumented immigrants. So we have
surely because of the murders by ICE and, obviously the illegals are just like Anne Frank and everything. The American people want to keep these people in the country. Yeah, right, really?
Slightly different questions, but these were all taken within the last month. And there's real uniformity here. That's what I really think you see. You see real uniformity. Deported all immigrants who are here illegally. 55% of the New York Times. Marquette, 64%. CBS News, 50%.
Wait. They want everybody deported? Those numbers want everybody deported?
7%. ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. So what you're seeing essentially here is a very clear indication that a majority of Americans, in fact, when they're asked this blunt question, which I believe gets at the underlying feelings, do in fact want to deport all immigrants who are here illegally. There's no arguing with these different numbers because they're all essentially the same across 4 different pollsters. Feelings towards immigration in this country, feelings towards undocumented immigrants and deporting all of them have become considerably more hawkish, and I think that gives Donald Trump much more leverage to go with the American people and sort of have these hawkish, some might say harsh, different rhetoric and all.
It's just the law. Yeah, that's all.
So, issue-based sort of going after immigrants who are here illegally, want immigration levels decreased. This includes legal and illegal immigration. Look at this.
Because Joe Biden opened the border and everybody just sat and screamed about it and saw how much they were destroying the country. And now Donald Trump is in president against, because that's one of the reasons why we voted for him, you see.
Last year, 55%. That is the highest level since the 9/11 aftermath. You go back just to 2020.
And this, again, legal and illegal. So people want less people coming into the country.
Exactly. They want less people coming into the country. Look.
Well, so much for that temper tantrum in Minnesota. It backfired. There you go. See what I told you? What I tell you? Expose the flanks so we can kick their butt. That's what we're doing. And guess what? The Democrats are not going to be able to defund ICE. They want to shut down the government, but it's already been funded. So we got that on the way. We've got a whole bunch on this Signal chat. I won't say Signal chat gate because I'm kind of tired of that. But a whole lot of people could be in a whole lot of hot agua in the state of Minnesota. Here's a number, 800-922-6680. This, my friends, is a Tuesday edition of the Rob Carson Show.
With the actions he's taken, Jacob Wright is making Minneapolis a clown town. Ice fries a bosun while Tim Walz is dozing. City has become a clown town. Ilhan Omar's hiding fraud. Keith Ellison's obstructing a war on law enforcement. Jacob Fry's conducting. Temp on Tim is so incompetent. Most Minnesotans want no more of him. It's a clown town, Minneapolis, clown town. It's far from fabulous, clown town. Once great cities become clown town, clown town.
He's run Minnesota in the ground. Massive fraud Timmy never found. Billions lost. Oh, what a cost. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. He's obstructing ICE every day. He wants illegals to get their way. Out of control. He has no soul. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. Tim is thinking they might impeach him. Should be resigning. For Minnesota, he has done no good. It's sad, so sad. As governor, he's been bad, 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 bad. Many calls for Tim Walz to step down. Minnesota can't afford this clown. Throw him in jail, deny him bail. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. His impeachment is an absolute must. Tim has lost the people's trust. He's gotta go, 'cause we all know, goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble.
Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Hey, Martha, so here's the thing. Even if Senate Democrats are able to block this DHS funding bill and cause a partial government shutdown, it's not going to hurt ICE. That's because ICE already got $75 billion worth of funding through 2029 as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill, but still, Democrats are digging their heels in.
Yeah, so we pretty much funded it through 2029, so good luck, doing whatever you do, because the Democrat Party, they want to defund ICE because they opened the southern border for a reason, and that is to usher in 20 million new voters and to load them up with free stuff. We're discovering this in states like Minnesota, and they also were, they're voting and everything too. By the way, here's a new headline: Gavin Newsom's ballyhooed Care First program, $236 million mental health push. It cost $236 million, and it only helped 22 people in 4 years. The Care Court, great fanfare when he released it, promised to help people with severe mental illness who go back and forth between homelessness, jail, and the emergency rooms. The state assembly analysis said up to 50,000 people could be eligible. However, after spending $236 million in taxpayer dollars on Care Court since the March 2022 announcement, the Daily Mail can reveal that the program has flopped, with more critics even saying it's fraud. Only 22 people have been helped. $10 million a person. $10 million a person. My God in heaven, my God in heaven. So why the heck don't the Democrats, why don't they want DHS, Chip Roy?
The real issue here is they don't want enforcement. We saw that under Biden and Mayorkas, right? They purposely put people into our country to endanger us because they wanted political power.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. They admit it. Right? They want it for the census. They want it for political power. They don't care what...
The Democrat Party is freaking evil. There's no doubt about it. Everything that has happened in the last decade, and now we're really putting an exclamation point on it all. Your party, your Democrat Party, if you're a Democrat, you are part of an evil freaking cabal of awfulness and corruption.
Chaos that creates. So they want to stand in the way of actual enforcement of the law. Walz is there. The mayor of Minneapolis is there. Democrat colleagues in Congress are there. That's why they're going to threaten to shut down the government this week so that they can defund ICE and try to stop the enforcement of our laws. But we Republicans need to band together and say no.
Yeah. They are death spiraling into hell, the Democrat Party, trying to drag us kicking and screaming with them because they realize that all of this is being exposed. They're freaking the hell out in Washington, D.C., in state capitals around the nation. They're freaking the hell out. And here's something kind of interesting. You know this David Hoke, who worked with Nick Shirley, he says that basically, while the Somalis cannot be excused for their fraud, the Somalis may have been recruited to actually keep Democrats in power.
He's starting to think that maybe Democrat leaders have been using the Somalis to money launder back into elections in order to stay in power.
Wow.
So he's not forgiving the Somalis for what they did.
No.
But he's pointing out that, hey, maybe these guys were being used. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about Keith Ellison, he's not from Minnesota, he's from Detroit.
No.
Jacob Fry's not from Minnesota, he's from Virginia.
No.
The police chief of Minneapolis is not from Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's from New Jersey. His wife's a Muslim cop in New Jersey. The mayor of St. Paul is not from Minnesota. And so it plays into this whole contention that I've made that this fraud framework was set up by the Democrats.
Wow.
And
then they increased the size of the government using COVID. 40% increase in the size of government. And all of it was looted.
What I believe they tried to do is when the Hmong population was brought into Minnesota in the late 70s and early 80s, there was a huge influx of the Hmong. And I think the Democrats thought the Hmong were going to fit the playbook for committing all this fraud.
Yeah.
And they didn't. The Hmong said they were honorable people. They're not going to be involved in this. And so they had to find another group. And so they got the Somalis, and they fit right in to this.
Yeah, because they come from the meth lab trailer park of the world, where their main industry is piracy, and that's about it. Jesse Waters actually kind of hit the nail on the head here with why the Democrats are fighting so much to defund ICE and even Border Patrol. They even want to defund Border Patrol, for God's sake.
This is what the Democrats did. They worked with cartels and the Third World to have the greatest human trafficking operation in world history,
without a doubt,
poured into the United States, 20 million.
They did.
And then they harbor them in these sanctuary cities and then riot when you can't come pick them up.
Yeah.
And then blackmail us and saying we're going to shut down the government if you keep arresting criminal illegal aliens in our towns.
You heard earlier that the American people are more behind deporting every illegal alien than they were since 9/11.
That's insane. Donald Trump has reduced illegal immigration and violent crime to century-low levels.
The murder rate hasn't been this low since 1900. That's like when Joe Biden was in kindergarten.
And the Democrat response is violence and blackmail.
Yes.
That is absolute craziness. Shutting down the government did not work very well last time.
No, it won't
Defunding the police did not work very well last time.
That was dumb, yeah.
It's about power.
Yeah.
The census is already going to strip away a bunch of electoral votes from the Democrats based on population next time, all right? And Donald Trump has suctioned up 10,000 illegals out of Minneapolis already,
he did.
which basically takes away a congressional district. So they're fighting for everything because this is about survival.
Yeah.
That's what they're fighting for.
Told you, they die like movie vampires. Here we go again. I did it again. I called it. Common sense, life experience, and show prep. They all come together and very nicely. So I think some amazing things are happening on the way. This Signal Chat insurrection in Minnesota is being exposed, and it goes all the way up the chain to Democrat politics. Even the lieutenant governor of the state could be in some serious legal jeopardy. All of that is coming up. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
Liberal heads, they're exploding. Their tiny brains are imploding. Trump has a mandate the media hates. Living in a MAGA wonderland. Lefties filled with dejection since they lost the election. Got beat really bad, and now they are sad, living in a MAGA wonderland. Mark Kelly is gonna be indicted. Seditious Six as nervous as can be. Trouble for themselves they all invited. Their careers will soon be history. Chris Wray's future is so dire. Jerome Powell, Trump will fire. And the deep state make America great, living in a MAGA wonderland. Thriving in a MAGA wonderland. Winning in a MAGA wonderland. Somalis are all on welfare, and the Dems just seem to not care. Ilhan Omar, she needs to go. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. Many are anti-Semitic. Their statements have been pathetic. They're a threat to all you know. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. They are always expressing hate of America. Why are they here? Must deport before it's too late. Talk about holiday cheer. Our language, they will not learn it. Own money, refuse to earn it. They are gaming the system so. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO.
My values have not changed.
A hashtag abolish ICE, referring to the enforcement agency when it comes to immigration. Listen to what your colleague, Senator Kamala Harris, said about the idea of abolishing ICE. Here's what she told my colleague, Casey Hunt.
Examine ICE and its role and the way that it is being administered and the work it is doing. And we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
Abolish ICE. This is a refrain that we've heard increasingly from your Democratic colleagues, some even potential 2020 contenders like Bernie Sanders, Senator Kamala Harris.
Well, the Democrat Party's been trying to get rid of ICE for a long time. And that was the border czar right there. That was Kamala Harris. She was the border czar who presided over the wholesale opening of the southern border on purpose to destroy our country and to make sure the Democrats stayed in power for so long. And I'd like to see her sorry arse in prison. Yeah, her and Alejandro Mayorkas. Absolutely. And then, of course, after all of that, she was talking about years ago getting rid of ICE. And then as the election approached, even more, getting rid of ICE. ICE is the KKK. All of this. Before the shooting of Renee Good, before the shooting of Alex Pretty, they wanted to get rid of ICE. It's like they were almost trying to cover up something.
Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process, no oversight, zero accountability happening in the United States of America today.
When I see ICE, I see slaves.
It's like they're almost desperate. Like if somebody, committed a murder and the body was buried in the backyard and the police are just walking around the backyard and they get a little bit closer to where the body is buried under the concrete pad that you freshly poured last week. And they're like, hey, can we get you some iced tea? Iced tea. Can I get you any? Let's go inside. You say, it's way too hot out here. You don't want to be out here.
These ICE agents
you don't want to be out here. This is the
running
last place
around
you
our
want to be.
communities like masked bank robbers, terrorizing women.
ICE federal agents pulling up, terrorizing our communities, hopping out of unmarked vans, stealing, and yes.
And what did Donald Trump do? What did he do? He diffused the Democrat hate machine yesterday. He said, oh, no, we're going to work with Tim Walz. We're going to work with Jacob Fry. We're going to work with Keith Ellison. And we're not removing anybody who's gone there to investigate fraud. We already got 10,000 criminals off your streets. There are a little over 1,000 left. Tom Homan's going in to take care of the rest, and it looks like Minnesota authorities are going to cooperate and turn over the illegal criminals out at jail. What? I know, right? Yeah. This was 3D chess on Donald Trump's part. It's pretty remarkable when you think about it. It really, really is. Here is John Fetterman. John Fetterman, he had a stroke and his brain turned on and turned off like your computer when it's not working. You ever do that? You're like, oh, hell, what am I going to do? And you ask your wife and she goes, just turn the thing on and turn the thing off. Well, that's what happened with his brain, and it reset it. He was asked last night if Joe Biden just blew open the southern border for no good reason.
Yeah, without a doubt. President Biden did a terrible job, and our border was effectively open at that point. Whether Biden and Mayorkas did not secure our border, and I tried to warn my party back in 2023 that this would cost us in the election, and America deserves to secure our border. I don't know why every American can't agree with that thing. And another thing, it's the truth that we should...
I don't think John Fetterman's getting rich from the Democrat Party is the reason why he's saying this stuff.
All agree to deport all of the criminals.
I don't think he has a winery that doesn't sell wine like Ilhan Omar that's worth $20 million.
That are here in our nation right now. And now this, for me, as a pro-Democrat, pro-immigration Democrat, I do think we need to develop a way for citizenship for the very hardworking migrants that are amidst this world now, too. So as long as I do have to give credit to the president for securing our border.
Oh, my God.
And now that's why. Order and arrest all of the criminals. And for that, and the tragedy that happened, and we've lost 2 American citizens. Yeah. I don't think anyone in America wants that.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you're driven insane by mania. When you are, you believe in absurdity, then you commit atrocities, like being stupid enough as a father to bring a loaded semi-automatic handgun and 2 clips to a peaceful protest as a legal concealed carrier. When you see authorities, you have to inform them, yo, just wanted you to know I'm a concealed carrier. He didn't. He also didn't have ID. No pity. Sorry, you did this, buddy. And then, of course, Renee Good just tried to run over an ICE officer. No pity for you either. Both of you part of this, by the way, this Signal chat group we're going to get into, they were part of it. They were part of an organized insurrection. And the leaders of the insurrection are more than happy to let people die. And they did. Here's John Fetterman on calling ICE Nazis.
The latest statistics that I've seen about ICE, the people that nationwide, they have deported about 2/3 of the ones that have criminal, whether a record or they were actually active in criminal behaviors. Yep. About 2/3. So that's what I think America, the vast majority of America, wants to deport those folks.
And then all the people who came in while Joe Biden was the president. Every single one of them.
And now for me, I would never, ever compare anybody to Nazis or the Gestapo or for those kinds of things.
Wow.
You know,
I think you're the only Democrat.
Nazis.
I mean that actually.
Are just, that's just not appropriate. Wow. And that's why I refuse to do that or refer to Republicans or parts of ICE. They're not Nazis. Now, for me, that's something as a Democrat I refuse to ever engage in.
Yeah, it's kind of strange to hear a Democrat that almost seems decent and sane. It's weird. I think maybe all the Democrats should have their brains turned off and turned back on. Joe Biden's just been slowly running out of batteries. It's not going to get turned on, and it won't be turned back on again. Here is John Fetterman talking about the possibility of a shutdown, even though ICE has been funded since 2029.
If the Democrats vote to shut it down, our entire military won't be paid again. I can't ever support that. I absolutely hope we can engage. I absolutely hope we can engage in a debate.
You would think.
And make some of the kinds of common sense reforms on ICE and make it more safe, more humane, and more effective, and just focus exclusively on the criminals. I hope that's possible. But for me, I remain to be the one Democrat, at least, that refuses to shut our government down.
Isn't that amazing? Wow. Yeah, it's not going to work. I think we're all kind of done with this. It's being exposed. We just heard earlier from Harry Hinton. The American people want all illegals out, particularly those who came across the southern border while Joe Biden was the president. They're sick and tired of this bloody temper tantrum by violent children happening in places like Minneapolis. We want a return to sanity. We are patriotic. We are standing and crying during the national anthem again. We are entering our 250th year, and we're done with the crap. Done with it. This is a little dispatch of this Signal chat group of hundreds, maybe thousands of Minnesotans, including Minnesota Democrats, who literally have a dispatch center to send people out to attack ICE officers.
The person that just asked for a plate check a minute ago that said 218.
Who would have plate numbers and stuff like that in a database? Oh, yeah, government employees.
Yeah, it's a white Chevy pickup truck.
Ooh. Thank you. If you can get documentation, video, or photos of that plate on that car, we can document. Thank you.
This is a Confederate state. That's what that is. You come into Minneapolis, they're going to check your plate number. Maybe you got a Trump sticker on it or whatever. It's going to go to somebody in the government. They are going to dispatch people to your location to find you. That's what they did. And then they would send out legions of idiots to attack ICE. 2 of them have been killed. This means that they could be liable legally for those deaths. Oh, this is just about to blow up. This is just about to blow up. I've got details on the other side of the break. Let's take that break now. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is domestic terrorism, and it's operating as a low-intensity insurgency.
What?
We've been watching this and just kind of astounded how there's always, these people blowing the whistles wherever ICE is, and they have different undercover vehicles.
Weird.
They try and keep a low profile, and for some reason they keep getting spotted. But James O'Keefe was just up there in Minneapolis and had his life directly threatened. He got a text from a number said, "We know you're in X car with this license plate from Florida. If you don't leave within an hour, you're dead." That is insane. That is not only terrorism, but it's showcasing that they have access to license plate identification. They have access to people's cell phones. They have operatives with
the state government's involved
in the police departments or the state government that are providing them with this private secure data. And that shows that this is a top-down insurgency operation.
This is unbelievable. Former DOJ Chief of Staff has issued a grave murder charge warning against Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. She's the insane Karen who wore the hijab a couple weeks ago to support the Somali fraudsters. She's a lieutenant governor. Peggy Flanagan allegedly operated as a dispatch administrator for the radical ICE intervention network under the handle Flan Outside. I never really liked flan very much. I like a creme brulee. Flan is a little too, it just doesn't, I don't like the consistency of it, and honestly, I just don't like it. Chad Mizell, former chief of staff of the Trump administration and acting general counsel to DHS, stated plainly that if the signal Chad is tied to at the Alex Preddy shooting, Flanagan is in serious trouble. Mizell explained the felony murder reality. If you're involved in a conspiracy, in this case, interfering with federal ICE operations, and someone dies as a result, every participant in that conspiracy can be charged with murder. Like Alex Preddy being the administrator of the coordination network makes the legal liability inescapable. And apparently, Peggy Flanagan, Lieutenant Governor to Tim Volz, is indeed the administrator of the Signal chat. And many of the members of the chat realize now that the gig is up and they've been discovered, and the Signal is not hidden. And some of them are saying online they want to leave the country. That's how big and ugly this is getting. It's crazy. It's crazy. And now they expose their flank so we can kick their butts. And Donald Trump diffused the rage machine by leaving ICE, taking ICE out. So now they have nobody to fight, nobody to attack, all of this, and they're left exposed in the battlefield, right out there in the middle. And now Tom Homan moves in. They're going to turn over these illegal alien criminals who are in prison. They're going to give them to ICE voluntarily now. And he did it without firing a shot. It's pretty crazy. No Insurrection Act needed. It's actually, if you digest it, it's pretty remarkable. Mark in Baltimore wants to talk. Hello, Mark. Welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's on your mind?
Yes, good afternoon. From freezing Baltimore, Maryland, where
Yes.
this morning the single-digit temperature was 8 degrees. I'm not used to single-digit temperatures. I wish I was in Florida right now, where I have relatives down there.
Yes.
Where I like it.
You and every other Jew in Baltimore.
That's correct. Just about everybody else. I'm not used to this type of weather and all that. But anyway,
Yes,
it's
yes.
really iced up. Excuse the pun, by the way.
Yeah.
Double entendre. When I say ice, that could be the ice of the weather. Or ice of, you know what I mean.
Yeah, Minneapolis is being de-iced. What?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, here's the thing. President Trump already sent letters out. He sent warnings out to the state government, the city mayor, the county, or whatever Minneapolis is located in, if they're part of a county system and so forth. These people who are members of the Tea Party ain't going to listen. They got their brains weather. You get the idea? And they're not going to listen to anything. So once ICE leaves, whenever it is someone down the path, they're not going to pay attention and all that. They're going to do the same old thing.
No, they're not.
And they're going to remain loyal to the Tea Party.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They've got the FBI, the DOJ. They are in Minnesota. They got Tom Homan in Minnesota. The fraud is going to be investigated, and there's going to be a major colonoscopy of the state of Minnesota and Democrat states around the country. This ain't the same old. I'm going to disagree with you on this one, Mark, and I do appreciate you.
I'm not paying the doctor's bill on that. Okay, the colonoscopy.
No, you don't. You don't trust me. There's a lot of crap in there. What?
Baltimore, because I'm stuck in the house since this past Saturday night after Shabbat was over. So the point is, but right now we got a real danger. Minnesota, it could succeed from the Union. I think it's the second Civil War. Remember
the
second Civil War?
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
That's a warning.
It's not going to happen.
You know, because they got a state government. You mentioned the word Confederacy. I think they got Dixie there in the recordings now.
All right, thanks.
What do you think about that? And I got to go and warm up, please.
Yeah, I think you need to. I think you've
Shalom.
been in the house a little too long. There's not going to be a civil war. It'd be the shortest civil war in the history of civil wars. There's not going to be a civil war. And by the way, Alberta wants to succeed from the Union, from Canada. I say we just do a trade. They're like real close to the border there. Canada's and Minnesota up there. I just say we swap them. Honestly, they're real close. I'm not kidding. It would be very easy. It would be really, really easy. We could keep the same number of states. You wouldn't need to change everything. You're going to have to add Alberta as a state and get rid of Minnesota as a state. But you know, I'm thinking that it can actually work. I'd be down with it, honestly. But there's not going to be a civil war. I use the word Confederacy because they're behaving as a Confederate state. Doesn't mean they're going to succeed as a Confederate state because they're being exposed right now. And this whole signal chat cabal with government officials using government resources to report on license plates, using government resources to find people, track people, dispatch people to attack them. This is very big and very ugly. Very big and very ugly. And this lieutenant governor in the state of Minnesota is in a whole lot of hot water. Tim Walz is a whole lot of hot water with regard to all the fraud. Keith Ellison is is in all sorts of hot water. You got people like Dr. Oz up there exposing these storefronts with 400 child health care facilities making $400 million a year in one building and nobody's there. This is being exposed across the country. Dr. Oz was in California yesterday. They've got a hospice industrial complex out there tied to Russian organized crime. This is all hitting the fan. Ladies and gentlemen, feces meet fan. Fan meet feces. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All right. Hello, everybody. We having fun? I get a little worked up. By the way, I had some comments on my hair today. They're saying my hair looks awesome. Haircut, hair cuttery. I've got a great stylist at hair cuttery. I don't go to some salon. Nioxin is a hair shampoo if you're concerned about your hair coming out, because I was stressed out and I was afraid, about it. So I started using Nioxin in the shower, the shampoo and the conditioner, and then there's this moussey stuff that you put on afterwards. Then I'm taking Nutrafol, which is a supplement that's supposed to be good for your hair, and boom, it's been 2 weeks. Boom, right? So I'm not afraid to admit it. I've been treated for the hair loss for 25 years, man, and it stopped. I'm like you, Matthew McConaughey, for goodness sakes. Melissa McGroin. Melissa McGroin is on there. Melissa McGroin. That just sounds like a porn name. I met a couple on. You're from South Dakota. No, you're talking to South Dakota Patriot. Yeah, Melissa McGroin said. Melissa McGroin. She's my favorite. I'm checking to see if you need to be a Sioux Falls resident or Minnehaha County resident. I don't know what you're talking about, but my sister lives up there, by the way. Yeah. Sioux Falls is wonderful. It's a wonderful little town if you can stand the friggin' temperatures. It's a really cool town, though. It's a lot of money up there. A lot of money up there. Anyway, I could talk about my hair all day, but I'd rather talk about other stuff. So let's get going here. This is really big. This is really big. Here we go. Let's get rid of the Logan. Go with Benny Johnson and Kash Patel next. Here we go, kids.
Give it 240 here.
Doogie.
Some of them are fleeing. Some of them are very scared now. You can see their chats. They're very, very worried now that they have been exposed.
Well, they should be. If they broke the law, you should be worried. It's that simple. If you didn't break the law, there's really nothing to worry about on that front. And so, we're going to continue, as I've said from day one, we will protect law enforcement. We will make sure they have the security and safety to do their jobs. We will also ensure that civilians have the ultimate protection of the First and Second Amendment. But it is my job to adjudicate the difference when there is a breaking of federal statute or state law in the furtherance of a crime or violence against law enforcement.
Yeah, so a cabal of Minnesota state employees and leftists funded by people from Canada and elsewhere to dox not only ICE agents but also people just who they think are, friends of Trump and ICE. And they were using the state database to record license numbers and everything. Kash Patel says there is an investigation underway.
And on this type of specific investigation, what you do, generally speaking, is you send out subpoenas, you collect data, you put people in grand juries, and you find out who broke the law.
Yeah.
And if anyone broke the law and incited violence, remember, that's the key here. We are not going after people and infringing on their freedom of speech to peacefully protest. We are definitely not going after people and their Second Amendment right to bear arms.
Nope.
Only if you incite violence and or threaten to do harm to law enforcement officials and break the law in any other way does it become an investigatory matter. So this signal chat is something that we, the FBI, are looking at and spearheading.
Yeah, the Minnesota State Democrats, the DFL, the Communist Hammer and Sickle Party of Minnesota. I despised them when I lived there in the 90s. They are Bolsheviks. They are communists up there. They are the DFL, the Democrat Farmers and Laborers. Doesn't that just sound Stalinistic? Yeah, they're in a whole lot of hot water. Donald Trump, of course, has decided to lessen the ICE presence, send in Tom Homan, and local authorities are going to be turning over illegal aliens they arrest to the government without ICE having to go in, and these idiots being dispatched all over the state. So the ICE rage machine in Minneapolis has been diffused. They're going to have to go to another city and regroup. This is a pretty remarkable thing. We got much more on this coming up on the other side of the top of the hour. Also, J.D. Hayworth joins us and Fred Fleitz later in the show. Don't go anywhere.
us know what you want more of on WCBM.com.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. I think we need a little montage.
Some protesters seem to have a death wish. Watch.
The kids, shoot us in the face! Shoot me in the head! Why don't you shoot me in the head?
Okay.
You coward! You're coward!
Oh,
I'm right here!
You're a child.
Kill me!
Moron.
What side do you want to be on?
What? Not on
The
yours.
side of an all-powerful federal government that can kill, injure, menace, and kidnap its citizens off the streets?
Wow.
Or on the side of a nurse at the VA hospital who died bearing witness to such government?
Oh,
or the side of a mother whose last words were, "I'm not mad at you." We have got children in Minnesota hiding in their houses, afraid to go outside.
Oh, here he goes.
Many of us grew up reading that story of Anne Frank.
Oh, he went there.
Somebody's going to write that children's story about Minnesota.
Not.
And there's one person who can end this now.
The Holocaust Museum told walls to pipe down and stop exploiting the genocide.
Yeah.
Illegal aliens aren't Jews.
Yeah, they're not. This is Jim Gossett, the new Minneapolis theme song.
With the actions he's taken, Jacob Bright is making Minneapolis a clown town. Ice fries a pose, and while Tim Walz is dozing, city has become a clown town. Ilhan Omar's hiding fraud, Keith Ellison's obstructing a war on law enforcement. Jacob Price conducting Tampon Tim is so incompetent. Most Minnesotans want no more of him. It's a clown town, Minneapolis, clown town. It's far from fabulous. Clown town. Once great cities become clown town. Clown town.
Oh, that is Jim Gossett. Jim Gossett is amazing. And if you want to help him out, just go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. That's another brilliant piece. Give him $10 a month, for goodness sakes. Just patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Yeah, the D.C.-based Holocaust Museum has a real problem with Tim Walz. He's German. I know, right? Yeah. Comparing Anne Frank to the illegal alien criminals that ICE is rounding up. In a media post, Rabbi Yehudi Kuplin says that the story has nothing to do with illegal immigration and fraud occurring in Minnesota. Ignorance like this cheapens the horror of the Holocaust. Well, that's what the Democrats do. They cheapen everything. They cheapen slavery. They cheapen everything. They do. It's suddenly 1968 all over again, and black people can't do anything. Well, that kind of whizzes on the Jesse Owens and Louis Armstrong and Oprah and Michael Jordan and every other great black person who's ever lived, and most of the greatest come from the United States. So there's that. People are just so bloody stupid. I swear to God. But there's a lot of stuff going on in Minnesota, including this Signal chat group that's been exposed. Oddly enough, Alex Jones Network is doing a pretty good job of covering this. I don't think they've strayed into space aliens or anything weird like that.
Getting a log of evidence for the future prosecution of ICE agents and officials responsible for this.
Tim Walz is emboldened by what amounts to organized crime with badges and budgets.
We've got a couple groups on the app Signal that we would love for you to join. Whether or not you want to be a part of the Resistance Network, I fully understand.
That's Mr. Pretty, by the way.
You may not be comfortable with that, but if you see any...
Alex Pretty, he got shot the other day because he had a loaded Glock in a couple of clips, and he didn't tell the authorities that he was a concealed carry guy. You do that if you don't want to get shot.
Suspicious vehicles, any traffic, if you know of anybody that is being targeted...
He was part of this group. He was dispatched.
...is being detained. We have resources immediately.
The group is now liable for his death.
Available.
Independent journalists and undercover ops have cracked open encrypted Signal chats used by radical left networks to dox, stalk, harass.
Can you believe we're learning all this? Isn't this cool?
And straight up impede federal ICE agents during the ongoing immigration enforcement chaos in Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Wow.
Cam Higby's infiltration of these groups.
He's the next Nick Shirley.
Blew the lid off.
This is John 612. That we are at Grand and Lake. We're heading toward Irving. We can try and join you.
1 Adam 12, 1 Adam 12. See the moron.
Signal chats are buzzing with anti-ICE operatives, and local police are complicit.
Whoa!
Cooperative, even, with real-time access to national databases for tracing license plates courtesy of law enforcement insiders, as well as shift changes leaked from within departments.
And quit referring to these people as law enforcement. They are not law enforcement. We have law enforcement who do an incredible job.
Anita Smithson, dispatcher in the ICE Watch chats, Minnesota State Senate candidate, BLM supporter, indivisible Minnesota member, and a big Waltz Ilhan Omar backer.
Wow.
She is allegedly using her U.S. bank risk management job for potential access to license plate databases to aid doxing. The chats coordinate rapid response ambushes on federal officers, share real-time locations and personal info, all while tying directly into state-level political operatives.
We just got this message, and it says, we know that you're in Minneapolis. You're with O'Keefe and his crew of Nazis. You're in a white Ford license plate. They actually wrote the license plate down from Florida.
Oh.
You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead.
Wow. That's Minnesota. That's Minneapolis. That's the DFL, the Democrat Farmers and Laborers Communist Cabal. Oh, you guys are in a hole. You stepped in it big time. You exposed your flank, so now we can kick your butt. That's pretty cool. Here's the lieutenant governor of the state of Minnesota. Her name is Peggy Flanagan. She's a crazy cat lady Karen.
If you are sick and tired of your government being ransacked by Donald Trump and his minions, literally taking away health care from your neighbors, stealing food off of the table from seniors and children, and generally being uncool with the fact that our neighbors are being disappeared, P.S. without due process, it is just called kidnapping, then show up and use your voice. Put your body on the line and use
That would mean that she's complicit in the murder of Renee. Well, she wasn't murdered, but she is complicit as someone who is a de facto murderer of Renee Good. She's in a lot of trouble. Peggy Flanagan gets a lot of trouble. She was involved in this. They were dispatching people. They're using state resources to go after ICE agents. They're in a lot of trouble. 2 people died. 2 people died because of their actions. Soldiers in her army that she dispatched. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, this is so good. Oh, my God, it's so good. I love it. Here is, Kash Patel. Kash Patel is very busy. He was talking about arresting people. They were arresting they got 4 people in that church invasion up there, again, exposing the flank for their butts to be kicked. The others are going to be arrested. And then, of course, those idiots the other day who attacked the ICE vehicle took the gun safe out of it and then took all sorts of identifying information about ICE officers and shared it online.
This FBI has already arrested the 4 individuals responsible for the vehicle damage just a week ago in Minnesota. Also, during that incident, sensitive information was stolen from that vehicle relating to FBI and federal agents' personal data. People put that information out and threatened the lives of federal agents, wives, and children. Just tonight, we arrested a 2nd individual out in the West Coast for threatening agents by stealing that information. And just a couple of days ago, we had our first arrest on an individual who did the same thing.
Yeah, and there's this moron up in Minneapolis named Kyle Wagner, a cross-dressing Antifa general of Minneapolis. I guess I should call it Wagner. He works for Tim Walz, who called for guns to be used against ICE. Now he's on a run from the law, and he's all scared and everything, and he's begging. He's begging for help, as well as this other Antifa moron.
I'm Kyle. I'm Antifa. I understand that the women who see this are really scared that their husbands are going to go and not come back, and that's real. We can't end this without good men in the streets, armed and ready to protect innocent people from being gunned down by these masked...
Kyle occasionally likes to wear women's clothes. No normal man likes to do that.
Murderers, these fascist occupiers. I need boots on the ground, and I need them.
I need them on the ground. Brr, brr, brr. He's in all sorts of hot agua now, and he is running. He is running. Here he is today. He's kind of changed his tune online.
The video I posted from the Alex Preddy murder, calling for direct action, calling for boots on the ground, calling for someone to stand against these murderers. Was deemed inciting violence, and they're being bullied by the administration.
No.
I don't think that they're gonna let them take my account down, but I don't know what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna
see what happens when the fence comes down between the Chihuahua and the pit bull. The Chihuahua goes yank, 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 yank. He's in hot water. There are a lot of people in hot water up there in Minnesota, and I know you wanted the Insurrection Act because I wanted some of these guys' butts to be kicked. Well, they're getting kicked. Trust me on this. They are going to get their butts kicked. It is remarkable the last 24 hours, and the more I hear about it, the more I like it. I like it. We avoided a big conflict like that. Americans are still against this illegal immigration. They want people deported, and now Tom Homan is up there. All of this fraud has been completely revealed, and then also, as an added bonus, a massive cabal of state employees inciting violence and dispatching a Confederate army against federal agents. I know. It's like too good to be true. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Winning and winning and never losing. Results that drive Nancy Pelosi to boozing. Chris Christie choking on buffalo wings. These are my favorite conservative things. Gas prices falling, inflation dropping. To our momentum, there is no stopping. An end to 8 wars, what joy that brings. These are a few of my favorite things. Reducing spending, securing the border, restoring faith in law and order, arresting a punk at a no kings. These are my favorite conservative things. When Chuck Schumer makes me nauseous, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember we're bombing drug boats, and that I don't feel so bad. Town of Portland, I said in the guard, Antifa, they are gonna hit you hard. The Democrat mayor's getting in my way. Go ahead, punks, and make my day. F around and find out. F around and find out. Schumer's gonna find out. I mean business and I'll get my way. Pencil neck and Chris Ray, for your crimes you will pay. You have both been found out. Hope you get a lengthy prison stay. Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you. Break the ceasefire and you'll be through. Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you're gonna get the blame. F around and find out. Mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day. Find out.
Piggy rejoined.
Piggy.
Hey, quick question for all the people mad at Donald Trump for calling that reporter a piggy. Would you prefer to be called her Hitler?
Yeah.
Racist?
Oh, yeah.
Rapist?
Mm-hmm.
Pedo? Dictator? Fascist? Would you have preferred one of those?
And ladies and gentlemen, Metallica. Rob Carson, metalhead for 40 years and counting. Thank you very much. I like all sorts of music, but I was raised on metal. So there you go. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel last night. I don't think I ever heard Johnny Carson do this on television. He was a TV host for a number of years, you millennials and Gen Zers.
And to the people of Minneapolis, to the Preddy family and the Good family, and these people who were looking out for their neighbors, we want you to know that we are with you and you are not alone.
You know, we're cool, actually. We don't want you to be with us because you guys are all freaks out there in California. We're fine. We're fine. Ugh.
And I'll tell you another thing.
What?
We also want to see those Epstein files already. I don't believe Trump has a plan of any kind when he does this stuff, but I think the scoundrel...
Go back to crying, a little crybaby. Dear God in heaven. What a disgusting human being. What a terrible thing you did to the great institute of late-night television, you moron. Oh, by the way, CBS Evening News and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, both on track to post their least viewed January's on record. Stephen Colbert, listen to this, nationwide, 350 million people live here. In the 25-54 demographic, 285,000 people. 285,000 people. On a national show like that. I stream more people than that every day. I do. The stream on this show is very powerful, unlike Joe Biden at 2 o'clock in the bathroom. The stream is very powerful. Nobody's watching. Nobody cares. He's up. His contract is up. He's going to be leaving television very soon. You know what I think we need to do? I think we need to hear some real comedy. I got some real comedy here. Hold on. This was a guy named Drew Dunn. Just for bleeps and giggles, I'm going to play it because this is just really funny. Conservative comedy is ascending. You know why? Because the left can't be taken seriously anymore.
Trump's an interesting guy, man, because some people just vote for him because they like him. Other people, worship that guy, They worship him like he's a god. I don't think Trump is Christ-like, but I think it'd be really funny if Christ was Trump-like.
Yeah.
I could feed a lot of people with this fish. It's a big fish. It's a beautiful fish. It's a bronzino. There's the fish I brought. It's a very delicate fish. They hung me on the cross, these nasty people. Would you believe it? They hung me on the cross. I'm not going to say it was the Jews, but they were there. They were definitely there, those Jews. They were watching me and touching me. They hung me on the cross, and the fake news didn't tell you it was a capital T. I would never be hung on a lowercase t. That's extremely disrespectful.
It's Drew Dunn. Just really funny, really funny. And again, I've been writing conservative political comedy for a very long time, since I started writing for Rush Limbaugh. And because the left can't be taken seriously. That's all there is to it, guys. They just can't be taken seriously anymore. It's crazy. Oh, by the way, I moved another existing IRA, it was a 401k, to Birch Gold last night. And I was on the phone with them, and I talked to the Birch Gold representative. They're like, "Okay, well, here, let's get your guy over here at the the 401k on the phone." So we had two of them dueling, talking to each other, blah blah blah. And literally 10 minutes later, checks going to be sent to Birch Gold. Then they're going to buy in, and there we go. It took me 10 minutes, and I'm in like Flynn with Birch Gold. Of course, gold topped $5,100 yesterday. It's come down a little bit. Silver was up to $113 an ounce. I wanted to move that money because I've been sitting on this 401k for 6 dang years. It's gone up 20%. I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I accomplishing? It's not doing anything. So I just texted my name, Rob, to 989898, Rob to 989898. with this amount of money, it wasn't a big amount of money, but if you are eligible for up to $10,000 rebate, depending on the purchase, the qualifying purchase, all right? But just text my name, Rob, to 989898, will you? Get the ball rolling, because honestly, gold is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Rob to 989898. That offer ends in, 3 days. How did Ilhan Omar make millions on a fake winery? California winery. Yeah, it was worth nothing. Then all of a sudden it went up to like $5 million in a year. Benny Johnson did a little research. Turns out her winery is about as real as a Somali daycare center in Minnesota.
Est Crew LLC. This is a winery in Santa Rosa, California. It's not doing that well. The total value of the winery is listed at $15,000.
Yeah.
And Ilhan Omar's barely making any money.
2023.
But go ahead and look at her filing for 2024. And you'll find that Est Crew Winery, the same company, in the same location, is now worth $5 million.
What?
That's incredible. Up from $15,000. And now Ilhan Omar's making enough to pay rent. So this must be one of the most successful companies ever.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and check in on this winery. Here's Est Crew's social media Facebook page. You'll see here that the last post, was in 2023.
What?
Wasn't this the year that they were supposed to, go really big and make Ilhan Omar millions of dollars? Same thing on their Instagram, and they don't have an X. Let's try and go to their location here.
Yeah, let's go look at
This is
winery.
Google Street View of Est Crew Winery, and what you'll find here is an empty parking lot. Doesn't actually look like an operational business. Aren't you supposed to sell wine at your wine company?
You would
Where are your wines?
Yeah.
There are no wines. You know why? Because this is a fake company.
And her husband's a criminal.
Rep. Ilhan Omar's husband accused of swindling investors in their California winery.
What?
They stole millions from cannabis growers. You can see here's the lawsuit right here, saying that Tim Minette, who's Ilhan Omar's third husband, no relation.
Who did he work with?
Swindled his investors. And defrauded them. How did Minette get this relationship? Well, the current Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison, he used to work for him.
Oh my God!
That curious. Keith Ellison, the same guy who refuses to look into any of the Somali fraud.
Oh, weird!
This company was sued for being a fraudulent company. And the New York Post says the exact same thing, as the House is now probing the mystery of Ilhan Omar's.
Oh, I hope that she gets indicted, arrested, deported, penniless back to the meth lab trailer park of the world, Somalia. Her and all of her criminal cabal that came over here and stole billions and billions and billions. All right, coming up, the great J.D. Hayworth. Do not go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
The minute I walked in the joint, I could see they were a bunch of losers that I could handle. Hey, EU, may I say, it is high time that you start paying your ways, so let me get right to the point. You're no match for my superiority. Hey there, NATO, you ain't gonna mess with me. Just like I said to Macron, soon we will be owning Greenland. You can't stop me. Mark Carney, what a wimp. That guy is so little that I call him shrimp. So stand back and give me some space. Let me tell you all just how it's gonna be. Hey there, NATO, you ain't gonna mess with me.
He's got these magical doctors who claim that he was shot in the ear, but his ear, I guess, grew back.
Joy Reid is a nutcase. Says I wasn't shot. That's why she doesn't have a job. 'Cause brain she hasn't got. Common sense she hasn't got. Joy Reid's insane. Her opinions are inane. Now she is unemployed as she should be. Joy for you and me. If I ran MSNBC, this is what I'd do. I'd tell Joe and Mika to hit the road, and I'd can Mad Cow too. Joy Reid is a nut. She's out on her butt. Me in the White House made her lose her mind. With hatred, she is blind.
I give you Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays.
Is that we're a stand your ground state. We have one of the most expansive stand your ground laws in the entire country that rivals even Florida. We also have a lot of guns in Arizona. We're a gun culture in this state. And, you know, it's kind of a recipe for disaster because you have these masked federal officers with very little identification.
ICE officers.
Sometimes no identification. Wearing plain clothes and masks. And we have a stand your ground law that says that if you reasonably believe that your life is in danger,
sounds like a threat.
and you're in your house or your car or on your property, that you can defend yourself with lethal force.
Whoa.
I want to be careful with that and understand what you're saying because you know how that could be interpreted.
Well, but it's the fact. I have seen firsthand, as your Attorney General, the dedication and commitment that you bring to a job that is inherently dangerous. You will always have my full support. Despite how right-wing media has characterized recent comments that I made about ICE and the danger its actions pose to public safety, the idea that I would want the life of any member of law enforcement put in danger is wrong, it's offensive, and it is an outright lie.
I hope that Donald Trump does an executive order to take Karens, white liberal Karens, out of power. Can he do that? Let's ask J.D. Hayworth, radio personality, also former House Representatives member from Arizona. What do you think? Should we do an executive order on crazy Karens like her?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and far be it. And first of all, Brother Rob,
yes,
since you and I have trod some of the same broadcast turf,
yes,
you don't know how great it is to be on with you. At times, I feel like we're twin sons of different mothers.
Oh, brother, you know what? And I'll tell you what, this is not an easy journey, is it?
It has its ups and downs.
Yes, it does.
It's not quite like Joseph getting locked in an Egyptian prison.
No. But you are in a den of lions every day, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
another story.
Far be it from me to suggest programming.
Yes.
But if you want to mark a date, why don't we, May 1st?
Yes.
May's Day.
Yes.
We will chart Chris Mays out here in Arizona. Since I'm on the ground and we have a history, I'll go there. But one thing, when you were hanging out my shingle, you left off the fact that I'm now the spokesperson for the Pharmaceutical Reform Alliance.
Love it.
And I got some encouraging news from that front that I'd love to share with you guys.
Well, here's what I want to say. Donald Trump is doing some amazing stuff on that. And you know as well as I do that people, senior citizens, a lot of times the whole pharmaceutical tourism in Mexico, in Canada, is kind of a big deal because forever we've been bent over and taking it from the pharmaceutical companies in our country. And Donald Trump is leveling out the playing field, ain't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
President Trump deserves all the credit in the world. What I love, he really is the disruptor in chief.
Yeah.
Because when I was serving on the Ways and Means Committee, how many times would we get a bill like most favored nation trade status for China, which I voted against?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was only one of 2 or 3 Republicans during the George W. Bush era to say, hang on a second. These guys, they steal what they can't take. But anyway, let me get off that and explain that what he's done with drug prices, his most favored nation executive order flips the script. It says to everybody, we're going to put Americans first.
I love it.
And so the one legislative item that has to happen, Brother Rob,
what's that?
My old colleagues in Congress need to codify most favored nation status in drug pricing. What the president has in the executive order, put it into law, because right now an executive order is there. And look, I'd love to see J.D. the Younger or another conservative succeed Mr. Trump, but we believe in elections, and the best way to make sure this is enshrined and we make the change is to see Congress codify that. And what you just mentioned, Rob, last week, a subcommittee hearing, Energy and Commerce, they brought in insurance company executives.
Yeah.
Some congressional committee better haul in the drug company executives because this year, 350 medicines, their prices went up on New Year's Day.
Wow.
You and I watched that crystal ball come down in Times Square. Meantime, the drug companies are raising prices, outstripping inflation, and with no clear medical benefit. They do it because they can, and it's time for the drug-making CEOs to come in front of Congress and the American people and give us the rationale why. You
would think so. And again, I was in Mexico. I went to Mexico a couple times last year, and it's funny because it used to be Senor Frog's tchotchke store. And now it's Senor Frog's tchotchke store, pharmacy for cheap drugs, tchotchke store, pharmacy for cheap drugs. It's nuts. It's nuts that we are forced to do this.
Yeah, my wife is a Marine daughter. So she grew up in Yuma, Arizona, down in San Luis, all down to Algodones. People go down there and buy their drugs. On the northern border, in fact, this will really sound crazy.
What?
Because you and I, we look at situations and we go, oh, yeah, when they say bipartisan, that's just that's smoke and mirrors. There are some issues that are truly bipartisan. To wit, when I finished second in 2006, there was a bill, and now one of my favorite guys, Rahm Emanuel, he engineered my electoral extinction, but we put together truly a bipartisan bill on prescription drug reimportation from Canada. Yeah. One of the last votes I cast was for that, but President Trump's most favored nation status has to be codified in the law. That's the way you ensure that Americans can be put first and not continue to pay, on average, 3 times the amount that our European cousins and others in the developed world are paying.
Well, this is kind of a big deal. I know Donald Trump has done a lot of stuff. He's brought down the price of in vitro fertilization. I've been seeing lately on TV, they got all these weight loss drugs that they've been using. They're not APLs, what are they called? But anyway, they've come down dramatically in price. They're doing a lot of things. A lot of diabetes medications are coming down. But if you want to actually codify them so we pay fair prices instead of, we subsidize the rest of the damn world on everything, for crying out loud. Yep. We did it for NATO forever. Why should we pay for their drugs too?
Well, that's in fact, Dr. Oz pointed that out on Face the Nation when Margaret Brennan let him get a word in edgewise a couple of months ago. He said, look, we don't want drug prices to continue to be like NATO was. Yep. Everybody needs to pay their fair share. Yep. Some drug CEOs are getting the message. Let them come to Capitol Hill. But here's the other thing. Remember, it's not what they say, it's what they do. Right now, they're doing a few high-profile things, but it's still, if you
not
want
everything.
Not everything, like an inhaler.
Yeah, like Joe Biden did with insulin. That was the only thing he did anything on.
Well, see, you can't single shot it.
I know.
The president's worked hard to negotiate it, and that's why Congress needs to step in and codify this.
All right.
And let the drug CEOs come and talk and explain why we're paying 3 times the price on average.
Well, J.D., how do we get in touch with you or help you out? I know you said you're pharmareformalliance.com. How else can we help you out, man?
Well, pal, next time you go on vacay, call up and have me be the guest host.
All right, you can do that. Hell yeah, I don't care.
We'll negotiate. My guy will call your guy, and my guy used to be Chris Ruddy. We can all work this out.
Yes, sir.
Really, pharmareformalliance.com.
JD, we'd love to have you fill in, man. You'll have to fight it out with Mary Walter because she fills in a lot too, brother. But it was good to hear from you.
Mary was my old buddy. We actually did Washington mornings for a while together.
Yes, yes. And you also filled in for Rush Limbaugh, talent on loan from God.
Well, he was a great friend.
Yes, he was.
So many guys like you in the business. For a business that's supposed to be such a backstabbing, there ain't nothing like that among friends.
But it's kind of funny because Chris Ruddy discovered me 6 years ago, so I'm a fresh voice in talk radio at my age. It's kind of weird.
Well, no, it's great. We'll celebrate it, pal.
All right, man.
Old beer heads, why ask why?
Yeah, man. All right, brother. Well,
God bless you, man.
You bet. PharmaReformAlliance.com. JD, we'll talk again. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. I didn't know he was just on to promote something.
Hey, guys, it's Carson from Birch Gold.
I wasn't told that.
New financial goal.
CNN is learning that Alex Preddy had a physical encounter with federal agents about a week before he was shot and killed by law enforcement. Sources tell CNN that Preddy broke a rib when a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting. Priscilla Alvarez is breaking that story for us. What else are you hearing, Priscilla?
Dana, we're learning more details along with my colleague.
I thought he was a patriotic nurse or something.
Jeff Winter about what exactly transpired a week before Alex Preddy was shot in Minneapolis and died this past week.
He's just like a yippy little dog on the other side of a fence from Pitbull, and he got bit.
Again, now in this earlier incident, he stopped his car after observing ICE agents chasing what he described as a family on foot and began shouting and blowing his whistle. Preddy later told one of these sources that 5 agents tackled him and 1 leaned on his back, appearing to leave him with a broken rib. According to this source, and
he didn't learn, did he? Did not learn a lesson, old Alex Preddy, and then a week later he gets shot, brings a gun, doesn't announce that he's concealed carry, which is number 1 rule of concealed carry. If you got a law enforcement official, if you're pulled over in your car, that's why they ask you, are you a concealed carry? Yes, sir, and I have a gun on me. There you go. Wow. He did it again. Unbelievable. So much stuff going on. So much stuff going on in the world. The U.S. deployed carrier strike group to the Middle East, strengthening the military presence in the region. U.S. deployed the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group to the Middle East on Monday as Washington strengthens its military presence in the region. I hope that Donald Trump puts a missile in the Ayatollah's Ayatollah. U.S. President Donald Trump said that American Armada is heading toward the region, saying Washington is closely monitoring develops in Iran. The Ayatollah can't stay in power. That's all there is to it. The Ayatollah cannot stay in power. They have caused too much mayhem and death to the United States and others around the country. He has to be taken down. That's it. It's in the better interest of America. This isn't just, getting involved. And it isn't going to be about regime change and all that. It's not going to be about that. It's going to give them a little nudge. A little nudge is what it takes, by the way. So there you go. There you go. What do I want to talk about here? You ever did Kamala? No, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Gordon Chang? No, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to figure out here what I got. I wanted to talk a little bit about the state of Virginia. The state of Virginia is messed up right now. There's a governor in Virginia, this Abigail Spamburger, who was elected, and she lied to get elected. She lied, said she was a moderate to get elected, and it turns out she's bedded down with communists, and they're doing some insane crap in Virginia. And this is not legal. This should not be legal. When you run for office, you run as a party on a ticket with a platform. She did none of this. They're poised to raise income taxes to the highest in the country on successful Virginia's up to 13.3%, among other things. Massive gun control legislation and other bat guano insanity crap not voted for, not presented. This cannot stand. I'm telling you, House of Delegates, Republicans, whoever it takes, I don't give a flying crap. Some of the people who lost in the last election with a terrible gubernatorial candidate in Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, you did this, bro. You better get your bleep together, brother. You cannot just pass the buck, present us with a crappy rhino candidate who gets destroyed, and then this nonsense. This is a guy named Nick Freitas talking with Jillian Michaels about this Abigail Spamburger, who is a crazy liberal cat lady.
And Abigail Spamburger, who just said she does a brilliant job as running as a moderate, a brilliant job. Her marketing is phenomenal.
Listen.
Day one, what does she do? She signs an executive order telling state and local law enforcement to no longer cooperate with ICE. And then you look at the bills they have, right?
Listen.
Because everything was about affordability. Everything was about return to normalcy and civility. And then you look at the bills. There is literally a bill that makes it illegal for state agencies to actually demand that the 501c3s and the charitable organizations that they give money to vet their clients to make sure that the money is going to people that are actually eligible.
So Democrats can give clients like they did to Somali daycares and all of these other fraudsters in Minneapolis, and they can't be investigated for fraud. They can't be. Are you out of your nut? And then they want to steal elections in perpetuity.
Eligible. Like Wait a second. You made it illegal for a state agency to make sure that the tax dollars it gives out actually goes to the people that are supposed to get it, only the qualified people. Yes, that is the bill right before the General Assembly. And we could go through a litany of all the stupid bills, but let me give you one of the most nefarious.
What's that?
863, House Bill 863. This removes mandatory minimums for a whole host of crimes to include assault and battery, assault of a law enforcement officer,
rape,
possession and distribution of child pornography, multiple felony violations.
Oh, it gets worse. She did not run on this. This is a bait and switch. She got elected, and they are instigating some of the most communistic things possible, and this cannot stand in Virginia. I won't let it stand. We must rally against this nonsense. I think Virginia's worst nightmare arrived here. I live here, and I know that we're still growing, but at the same time, we can gather forces to end this nonsense legislatively and legally. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life
streamers?
I got you. Hold on. The size of the policies you had
right
to
with you
purchase
guys.
For your previous mistake?
I've got to find a soundbite. I apologize. Hold on a second. Virginia. Hold on. I apologize. VA. Virginia delegates got that. I can do that. Hold on. I apologize. I'm trying to do a show while also doing other stuff. So hold on. Let me move down to my video clips. I run all my own audio and video. So there's that. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not ignoring you. I just need to be ready for the next break. Come on, man. 1 second. No. Legal religion. Sorry. Freitas, Virginia. Okay. Let me do this other one here. Hold on 1 second. B-E-I-E-R. I apologize. Here we go. This is what I need.
New governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Abigail Spamburger, ran for that office as a moderate, but the executive order that she talked about is state and local police not cooperating with ICE to get criminal illegal immigrants. So
okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yes, Rob is multitasking. Like I said, everything that is heard on this, Brian does my breaks from the network and all of this, but I run all the sound and all the parodies and all that. It's just the way I do it. Just the way I do it. Hamster on cocaine. Right up here, but I would not have it any other way because a producer can't think like my brain. And if they did, they'd go insane. Sabrina Pingaka now. Oh, okay, I got to talk.
Here we go. Yeah, about 3 minutes here.
Okay, here we go.
also a list of now the Democrats control the legislature, that a number of bills that have been put forward. You can't read it here, but let me just go through it. Sales tax on Uber Eats, Amazon. Sales tax on admissions to a variety of businesses. Create 2 new higher tax brackets. 10% tax bracket for anyone making over $1 million. 3.8 investment tax. Raise the hotel tax. New personal property tax on landscaping equipment. Ban gas-powered leaf blowers. Guarantee illegal aliens free education. Make it illegal to approach somebody at an abortion clinic. Extend the time absentee ballots can be received after Election Day. Allow people to cast their votes electronically through the internet. Expand ranked choice voting. Extend the deadline for ballot curing. Redact the addresses of political candidates from FOIAs. Add Virginia to the National Popular Vote Compact. Make it illegal to hand count ballots. $500 sales tax on firearm suppressors. Assault weapons and large capacity magazine ban. 11% sales tax on all firearms.
She didn't run on any of this. Abigail Spamburger didn't run on any of this. You cannot do this legally. It has to be stopped. It must be stopped. It will be stopped. I moved to Virginia and they pulled this stupid crap. This is not about elections. This is lying. This is lying to get elected. And honestly, think about this. If Mao Zedong would have run as a libertarian, and then got into office, oh yeah, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to arrest all of the political prisoners and steal elections in perpetuity, and then we're going to confiscate all the wealth. That's what's happening in Virginia. It's not going to stand. It is not going to stand in the great state of Virginia. This is Delegate Thomas Garrett, a Republican, talking about this nonsense in the House of Delegates.
Mr. Speaker, we got to stop gaslighting the Virginians. People know what they wanted. People know what they asked for. People know what they voted for, and they're not stupid, contrary to what 60-some-odd people in this room might think. I want to carry a bill that says make ex post facto laws illegal again, but I'm afraid that since it sounds like some other stuff, people in this room would have a temper tantrum. We'd have to shut the building down. Mr. Speaker, I never thought I'd live to see the moment that we invented a time machine, but surely if we have one, there are more important things that we could correct than changing laws 55 years hence because you don't like them. But that's what it's come to, Mr. Speaker. I'm beside myself. I'm mind blown. I'm gobsmacked. I'm awestruck. I'm disappointed. But sadly, Mr. Speaker, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but we are not going to stand for this. Shut the mother down. Shut down that state house. Do whatever you have to do legally to end this. They were not elected on this. They cannot. They do not have a mandate for any of this nonsense with regard to stealing elections, redistricting, getting rid of gas leaf blowers. Are you out of your nut? You do not have a mandate. You lied to get elected, and now you are baiting and switching. Not illegal, state of Virginia. Not good. Tom Fitton, we need you, man. Tom Fitton and others, we need you. This bleep ends. This will destroy the state of Virginia. I'm not ready to move. We got to do something about it. This cannot happen. This exposes who the Democrat Party really is and will bring to your state. They will do the same damn thing. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. Welcome to the final hour of the show. I just wrote Virginia Delegate Thomas Garrett about Abigail Spamburger and how I got to call you back. And how she was elected on false pretenses. She lied about being a moderate, and now she's the governor of the state, and the legislature has decided to go full commie pinko, left of center, with massive gun control legislation, being able to, if Democrats decide to give millions of dollars to charities, the charities could not be investigated for fraud. They are going to get rid of hand counting ballots. They're going to allow ballots up to 2 weeks late. They're going to steal elections. They're going to take your guns. They're going to take your friggin' leaf blowers. Okay? It is nuts. It's even further left than Zoran Mandami. It was a lie. They lied to get into office, and now they are springing this on the people of Virginia, and it will not stand. It will not stand. Ridiculous. This cannot happen. This cannot happen. You cannot run for office and gain the trust of the voters and then pull this. If she would have said any of this that they're planning, she would have never been elected. This cannot be allowed to happen. You cannot run for office and misrepresent yourself in such a fashion. Utterly, utterly ridiculous. So we'll try and get him on, and then we'll begin doing battle with to stay Virginia, because this will destroy Virginia. This will destroy a great state. I just moved here. I remember I lived in Maryland. I used to live in Maryland. Maryland is escape from New York. You drive across the Potomac River into Maryland, it's like into Virginia, it's like driving into Oz. It's beautiful. I drove up to my old neighborhood a couple months ago where I used to live in Germantown. Everything's gone to crap. The mall that was going out of business as I left is an empty hulk. It's been sitting there for 10 years. Where my kids went to school, they are literally selling fruit out of the back of pickup trucks like Tijuana. All of the intersections are overgrown with weeds. There was a abandoned homeless encampment, literally blocks away from my home in the woods. That's Maryland. That's Maryland. And I had always, when I lived in Maryland, I always wanted to live in Virginia. I said there was no damn way I was going to live in Maryland when I moved back. And now this nonsense cannot be allowed to stand. It can't. It can't. By the way, I've been on this an ordeal. I'll just call this. I moved here 6 months ago. It's hard to believe it's been 6 months. Packed up all of my belongings, had them delivered. They lost a lot of stuff, by the way. All my jeans. They lost. The idiots who moved my stuff lost all of my jeans, even the ones I've had for like 20 years. Gone. So I moved my studio out here myself. This studio that I built it all myself. No help, just me. Just me, a guy named Mark Giuliani. He gave me this studio, and he has allowed me to use this space. But I built this thing myself. I ordered everything myself, spent every damn dime that I have on this. Everything. And I ordered this glorious desk from the same place that Stephen A. Smith got his, from the same place that Fox NFL coverage got theirs. Spent my own money to do it. Had it built overseas, because if you put TV or broadcast on anything over here, they'll charge you 5 times as much as a normal desk, just like they do with flowers at weddings. You can order a bouquet of flowers somewhere else, but when it's a wedding, it costs 5 times as much. You go to a bakery, you can buy a cake for $30. If you want to buy a cake for a wedding, it's $500. And that's the way it is with broadcast desks. So I ordered this damn thing 4 months ago. Went through the building process, decided after looking at different models, changed the LED lights on it, corresponded with these people. Then, after paying for it, I discover I have to get through customs. So months ago, I had to come up with all this paper. All of it had to be, signed and notarized and all of this and all this. And then the other day, it's right in the dock. It's at the dock in Baltimore. It's ready to be delivered. And all of a sudden, I got to come up with $2,400. in fees and bull crap from the government. And then on top of all of that, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Listen to this. Customs needed to know the genus and species of the wood the damn desk is made from. I don't know what it is. It was made in Asia, for God's sake. I don't know what wood they use, bamboo. I don't know. So I said oak. And then I had to look up online the genus and species of oak and put the genus and species of oak on a pressed wood desk. What the hell kind of sense does that make? And I think that call was the call for the desk delivery. It's supposed to be delivered today. And I've had to change 2 moving companies because it was supposed to be delivered on the 8th, and now it's going to be delivered today. And I don't even know it's going to get through the door. But it's worth it. Yes, it's worth it. It's going to look really good, by the way. It's going to look really, 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 really good. You know what I think I need? I think I need a palate cleanser. I think I need a little comedy from Jim Gossett about ice. That's what I think I need. A little comedy from Jim Gossett about ice. On the Rob Carson show.
Protesters in Minnesota, they're out of control.
I want a desk.
Jacob Fry, all he does is lie because he has no soul.
Genus and species.
Tim Walz, he is just as bad. Criminals he'll defend. Each assault is the protester's fault. This madness has to end. Tom Homan says, hey friend.
Hey friend.
You don't bring a gun to protest.
Not a good idea.
You don't run an agent down with your car, and you don't F around with ice. Before you show up with a gun.
Not a good idea.
You should think twice.
Yeah.
You don't use an SUV as a weapon, and you don't F around with ice.
Not a good idea.
You don't F around with ice.
All right, I needed that. Genus and species of oak. I have no friggin' idea. I'm surprised you're like, and it's not the correct genus and species of oak. More fraud. The Democrat crime family is bigger than we could have ever imagined. Scott Turner is the HUD Secretary, Housing and Urban Development. And we were buying housing for dead people.
We also take stewardship very seriously, so we're cracking down on waste and fraud and abuse. Our Office of the Chief Financial Officer uncovered more than $5 billion in potential payment errors.
That's nothing.
Over $50 billion in total rental assistance for the fiscal year 2024.
Yeah.
And that includes money that went to nearly 30,000 dead people. That is ludicrous. It's ridiculous to even think or talk in such a way. It's a violation of our sacred trust to American taxpayers, and it has to end, and it will.
Trillions of dollars. Dr. Oz, he decided to go to California because there's apparently the hospice industrial complex. They got whole buildings filled with offices that just kill you. Just, your final days. But it turns out not so much. It's all a lie.
So you can see these are medical buildings. They've got Cyrillic writing, Russian, Armenian writing, both sides.
Russian and Armenian writing
lots
on
of action, it seems.
Not Somalian.
I don't know how many patients are getting care, but in this 4-block area in Los Angeles, there are 42 hospices. So either there are a lot of people dying here, or you've got a fraudulent activity that is so good that everyone wants to get in on it.
Oh, I'm thinking that's it.
I'm in Van Nuys in Los Angeles, and this boarded up area above my head here is a big hospice center. There are apparently quite a few hospices around here, 42 within a 4-block radius. And these guys stole $16 million. Listen carefully. The main guy went to jail for 2 years, for stealing $16 million. It's a good trade-off for a lot of folks. Yeah. And if you look at it, it's pretty indescript. There wasn't anyone really in there. They weren't doing any services. They just got an address they could claim was a hospice. And then they ran the business, claiming people were at home getting services, which they really weren't.
Yeah.
What we have learned is there's roughly $3.5 billion of fraud taking place here in Los Angeles in hospice and home care. It's run quite a bit of it by the Russian Armenian mafia. You notice the lettering and language behind me is...
it's like, not only will we take care of your hospice care, we'll kill you too!
Of that dialect. And it also highlights the fact that
I'm sorry, I should have done the Russian accent. Not only will we take care of your end of life, we will end your life.
This is an organized crime, mafia deal where you've got folks who have systemically recruited doctors to write false prescriptions.
Wow.
Hundreds of doctors.
Y'all about tired of this bullcrap? Oh, here's Dr. Oz talking about illegals getting health care in California.
Let's talk about illegal immigrants. So Gavin Newsom was giving us a hard time for threatening the health insurance of illegal immigrants. Just to be very transparent, if you're on Medicare, you don't get free dental, you don't get free vision. You do if you're an illegal immigrant in California.
This is infuriating.
So you got taxpayers in New Mexico, right, which is a blue state but a poor state, paying extra tax dollars to the federal government that are recycled back into L.A. to deal with the fraud that I'm talking about. So illegal immigrants, he's mad. We're horrible people. We're Republicans. You have no conscience. You have no heart. As soon as we made it clear we were no longer going to pay for illegal immigrants in California, what did he do? He took them off Med-Cal. Now, he didn't take them off. He took them up on the federal side. So in theory, only emergency services are going to get paid for illegal immigrants in California, which is a national law.
And is reasonable.
Did you realize that for every Medicaid dollar that's sent into these states, $9 of ours goes with it? We pay $9, they pay $1. Yeah. I mentioned this earlier. Gavin Newsom launched Care Court with great fanfare. He promised to help people with severe mental illness who go back and forth between homelessness, jail, and emergency rooms. California boasted that the Care Court would be completely new paradigm that would compassionately force people's mentally ill loved ones off the streets and into treatment. A state assembly analysis said it would take care of 50,000 people. They could be eligible. However, after spending $236 million in taxpayer dollars on care since March 2022, you want to guess how many people were helped? You better sit down for this. 22 people. 22 people. Over $10 million per person. Gavin Newsom needs to be introduced to a jail cell. Democrats got to go to jail across this damn country for what they've done. We have to be relentless on this. We have an opening here. We have an opportunity. They've exposed their flank. Now it's time to kick their butts. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Drugs transported by boat, Venezuela. You best take note. Cartels, they're having fits 'cause they're men. They were blown to bits. The drug boat, it now resides on the ocean floor. The drug boat, Marco says we're gonna take out more. Yes, their lives are in danger if they take another chance. 'Cause drugs, we won't tolerate. Shut it down before it's too late. No drugs. A boat that was filled with drugs.
With talent on loan from God. And have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life. Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife. Rush.
El Rushball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero.
In all four corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had zero. How could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife, Rush. No one will ever take your place, because Rush was the sunshine of our life, of our life, of our life.
Meeting and surpassing all audience expectations every day behind this Golden EIB microphone.
Starting to think Somalia is not sending us their best. Yeah. Who is letting their kids be watched by Somalian? Didn't anybody see Captain Phillips, that Tom Hanks movie? They're fucking pirates. We are taking over the ship and the child care center. We're doing both. That's how amazing this country is, though, if you think about it. You can come over here from Somalia.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be here, legally. You can just marry your brother.
Yeah, I
know. What an amazing country. Then you can open up a child care center, a Leering center. You don't even have to have kids. It's the best part. You just
I know. That is Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider, he's experiencing a career rebirth after being blacklisted by the left, by Hollywood and whatnot, and he's doing stand-up. It's just fantastic stuff. I hope to get him on the air, maybe in studio here in Washington, D.C. Oh, by the way, the genus of oak is, hold on one second, I just forgot it. Quercus. It's Quercus. There you go. Now you know that. Yeah. It's a species. Quercus robur, which is the English oak, or the Quercus rubra, which is the northern red oak. A specific genus name for oak trees belonging to the beech family of Fagaceae. This genus includes a wide variety of species, which approximately 450 to 500 species distributed in the northern hemisphere. I don't even know if my desk is made of it. I just lied to customs because I don't know what friggin' tree my desk is there, And it's coming tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. 6 months to get the damn thing, and they can only give me a window of 9 to 11, or 9 to 1. Zoran Mandami is, did you see him trying to shovel snow yesterday? Oh, my God. Did you see Kathy Hochul trying to shovel snow? How about this? How about you teach us how to shovel the bull crap that you leave behind you every day? Zoran Mandami mocked for his snow shoveling technique because he's never done it before, because he's never done labor at all. He tried to bench press 135 pounds, needed a spotter. I just turned twice 30, and I can do 135. I probably, if I just did 135, 35 to 40 times. I just do it 20 times, then I add 10, then I add 25, 15. Yeah, I know. Pretty cool. Thank you, Relief Factor. Ding! NYC socialist mayor mocked for his show snubbling technique after a Big Apple was hit with the worst blizzard, and he's never worked in his life. It's just so stupid. And then he's also urging readers to read homoerotic sports novels during the snowstorm. And I mean, honestly, I just streamed Pluribus. I never thought about reading a homoerotic hockey novel. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Pluribus, I finished the series, first one season. Apple TV. The main character is one badass lesbian. I'll just tell you that. Her character is fantastic. Democrat socialist Zoran Mondani specifically encouraged Big Apple residents to read Heated Rivalry. A homoerotic hockey novel during a Sunday news conference with the New York City Emergency Management. Heated Rivalry. Doesn't it just sound like a porn movie? Mondani called on residents to stay home, avoid the storm, occupy themselves by reading the popular romance novel. Sure, I'm going to read Heated Rivalry. Sure, like the Brokeback Mountain of hockey novels. I mean, is that a Zamboni? Boney, is that a Zamboni? Okay. Heated Rivalry, written by Canadian author Rachel Reed, is the first novel in a 6-book series called Game Changer. Stop it! Television adaptation based on the series titled Heated Rivalry, premiered in November 2025. The book recommendation by Mondani followed the New York Public Library Saturday Ex-Post announcing the Game Changer series would be available as ebooks and audiobooks. My God, really? Really, really? Really, really, really? That's the book you recommend. Okay, just go with that. Catcher in the Rye. You could do that, but no, let's just go with heated exchange or bodily fluid exchange or, hotness on the ice or whatever. I don't even care. Here's Bill Maher. He's not too crazy about Zoran Mondani.
It matters that the mayor stands by, and I assume stands with, someone who says things like, if you don't believe in the government's sacred right to seize private property, it's over. Seize private property.
Yeah.
Home ownership is racist.
Yeah.
Elect more communists.
Yeah.
Private property, especially home ownership.
They did this in Virginia, but they didn't tell you. Abigail Spamburger lied about who she is.
Ownership is a weapon of white supremacy.
She's a criminal. Yeah, I said
Really?
It.
Even among the 20 million black Americans who own their own home?
Yeah.
I mean, these are the kind of utterances I might forgive as something a dumb white girl said while she was at Bryn Mawr.
He's talking about his Rit Czar, whatever the hell she is.
Because it's the kind of privilege hating you can only learn for $95,000 a year. But these are statements made as an adult.
Yeah.
Yes. For co-eds from elite private colleges, you're only a lesbian until graduation, but the communism lasts a lifetime.
Yes.
Democrats seem to be having this debate whether or not Mayor Mondani is a socialist or a democratic socialist.
Listen.
Let me settle it.
What's that?
He's a straight-up communist.
Yeah, he is.
How do I know this?
Why?
Well, I'm reading between the lines.
Yeah.
When one of his major advisors says, elect more communists.
There was that.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's a belief system. He's allowed to believe it, and people are allowed to vote for it. But if liberals deny it, like he's just going through a goth phase, they're going to lose more elections.
And this is what they're doing. They're running on something else, then springing communism and Marxism on the voters. It cannot exist. It cannot live in New York City. It cannot live in Seattle. And it cannot live in the state of Virginia. That's it. That's all. That's that. Tom Fitton. I'm putting up the Tom Fitton bat signal over here in Alexandria. Come and rescue us, Tommy. We appreciate it. All right, coming up, Fred Fleitz. Talk about Iran and other stuff.
Have 3.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
Kosovo can defend itself without the US, keep on dreaming. You can't. We can't. We need each other.
Yeah.
And why do we need each other? I tell you. First of all, because also the US needs NATO. And the US is not only in NATO to prevent a mistake after the First World War, not to re-engage with Europe. And then again, the long arm of history reaching out to the US again in the Second World War, as Churchill famously said in his speech in 1941 in the US Congress. They are also in NATO because for the US to stay safe, and by the way, Arctic region is evidence here, they need a secure Arctic, they need a secure Euro-Atlantic, and they also need to secure Europe. So the US has every interest in NATO as much as Canada and the European NATO element.
That is NATO Secretary Mark Rutte dropping nukes on Europe. Truth nukes is what he dropped on Europe. And I think a lot of the elitists in Davos, there was a hard pill to swallow, having a U.S. president who is just kind of tired of them running over America and then expecting us to bail them out. Join us to talk about this and so much more. I mean, it is a foreign policy extravaganza, and I know that Fred Fleitz likes to pony up at the all-you-can-eat foreign policy buffet we serve here. Fred, how are you today?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Excellent. Fred is a senior fellow of the America First Policy Institute. That's NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte basically saying that if you think you can get along with America without America, you're out of your nut. The same thing happened with the leader of Finland at the summit in Davos, and he said we can do that. 11 minutes later, says not so much. Do you think Donald Trump is getting to them, that they're realizing that they can't survive without us?
I think so. This speech given by the Canadian Prime Minister about how middle powers have to find a new arrangement because they can't trust the United States, maybe situate themselves equally between China and the U.S. This is so incredibly absurd. It sort of reminds me of the mean tweet syndrome. They're mad at Trump because he sends a mean tweet, even though he's right. Europe has destroyed itself with out-of-control immigration. Policies are wrecking its economy. Crazy environmental policy. It's not defending itself. Yep. And as you said earlier, Europe would have to spend 10% of its GDP on defense if the U.S. was not around. And it would have to develop a nuclear arsenal, which would cost billions and billions of dollars. It cannot survive without the U.S.
Yeah, and isn't this kind of what happens it's a macrocosm of what's happened in the United States, because in liberal bastions, all of these idiotic policies of open borders and unlimited migration and sanctuary cities and green energy nonsense have all failed. They've all failed. They were defeated in the election of 2024, although there are strongholds in New York and Seattle and whatnot. Isn't that kind of the same thing that's happening with Europe? They're realizing the folly of this leftist nonsense.
It really is happening, and you can see all these European countries rolling back their mandate to outlaw gasoline-powered vehicles because people don't want them, and they don't work in the cold. It's really amusing when you think about Canada. You know, the Canadian Prime Minister wants to allow ultra-cheap Chinese electric vehicles to come into Canada. Did you know that in many Canadian cities, these environmentalists who like green vehicles, they have to have two cars because their green vehicle won't work in the cold.
Yeah.
In Ottawa today, it's about 1 degree.
Yeah.
Green vehicles, green EVs won't work. So that's the state of play with these electric vehicles in Canada.
They haven't learned their lesson in Canada, and I know that Poilievre is waiting in the wings to turn the country around. Alberta, the lines are getting longer, people waiting to get into meetings for Alberta to secede. They've had about enough of this nonsense. And then you've got Mark Carney visiting China, then coming back, and we're going to have a trade deal with China. Donald Trump saying, okay, well, you do that. We're going to tariff your imports 100%. And he backs off. Then I see Doug Ford, who looks like a Chris Farley impersonator from 20 years ago, saying that, no, we ought to let those EVs come in anyway. And that will kill the Canadian auto industry. When is relief going to come from the long-suffering Canadians who are tired of this bullcrap?
Well, I think Trump was exactly right. 75% of Canadian exports go to the U.S. 75%. They import 50% of their goods from the U.S. They can't survive without the U.S. They can't possibly transition to China. When I was in Canada in December, I heard Canadian Parliament members saying that, let's replace the U.S. with China because they're mad at Donald Trump. It's ridiculous.
What the hell? I mean, it's like saying, let's, I don't know, kick the puppy out of the bed and invite a rattlesnake to sleep with you. I mean, honestly, that's what it is. The same damn thing with Europe. France, Emile Macron, the other day at Davos, he says, we need to do more trade. We need to be more involved with China. Do we not see that China, I don't know, about 36 years ago, crushed to death a whole lot of students to put down a democratic rebellion and of course, enslave their people? I mean, honestly, who the hell thinks like this other than a group of people who have never learned lessons from history? Isn't that what it's really all about?
That's exactly right. There's Macron pleading with China to invest more in France. But I thought Macron's mad at us for our Ukraine policy. Why isn't Macron calling on China to cut off oil purchases from Russia, supporting Russia in the war in Ukraine, something that President Trump is trying to do? I mean, it's simply so hypocritical to see these people faulting Trump for his policy, supposedly for being too close to Putin, and the Europeans don't want to do anything about this war.
This is what happens with, and I don't like to use the word liberal because liberal means open-minded. And if that's the case, then I guess I'm liberal because I'll sit and have break bread with someone who disagrees with me politically. So it's kind of an insult to liberals. These are adults who have never learned anything. They go through their entire lives with this elite kind of effete Marxist, communist, socialist ideology that is always tried and failed. It always results in body pits by the hundreds of millions of people, and yet they never grow up enough. And then eventually they get bitten by it again, and the United States have to step in. I don't know what it takes to make these people learn because they forget history as soon as the event is over, and they return to the same crap.
And everyone has to conform. There's basically politically correct things you have to say, things you have to support, green energy, open borders.
Oh.
Well, Trump doesn't support that. He's saying all the things you're not supposed to say in meetings within our country, in campaign speeches.
Yes.
The Europeans aren't used to all this honesty, all these things that they know are true, but won't admit to.
Yeah, it looks like, though, there's some movement in, like, Germany. The Chancellor of Germany is really giving the leftists a little what for. It looks like there's some movement in France, Great Britain as well. You've got Nigel Farage waiting in the wings, some major possibility of some momentum shift happening there. Do you think that Europe is going to be Trumpified like so many Latin American nations?
I think there's real movement away from these globalists, and the Chancellor of Germany has been very good. He thinks the government in Iran has to go.
Yes.
We haven't heard that from Macron.
Yes.
But I mean, he's actually been pretty good. When we bombed Iran, Merz came right out and said it was the right thing to do because this is a state-sponsored terror pursuing nuclear weapons.
Yep.
We didn't hear that from the UK or France.
Well, I want to talk about that next, Fred, if you can hold on. Fred Fleitz joining us on the Newsmax hotline, talking the senior fellow of the America First Policy Institute. Iran is next because we are amassing an armada off the nearby, ready to help out, give the Iranian people a little nudge to get rid of the Ayatollah. We'll see what Fred thinks about that in a second. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Between now and the end of the century, China will lose probably 2/3 to 3/4 of its population. So it reports 1.4 billion now. It'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 450 million.
Whoa.
No country has ever undergone a demographic collapse like this, not even Europe during the Black Death. So really what we're talking about is something nobody has ever seen before. And I don't think China can remain a great power when its population falls apart.
Gordon, always great to see you, my friend. Thank you.
This is Gordon Chang, friend of the show, talking last night about China. He wrote a book called The Coming Collapse of China. We shall see. Also, and by the way, Fred Fleitz, I had heard that China has been inflating its population numbers to convince us that they have over a billion people. So, I don't know. I hope he's right, Fred. Let's talk about Iran. Let's talk about the armada that we've assembled in the Persian Gulf. What do you think is going to happen, man?
Well, I think that the president certainly wants to put military force there to pressure the regime. He may plan to attack maybe headquarters of the Revolutionary Guard and other military and security units that are attacking the people, maybe weapons depots, but we have to be realistic. We're not going to bomb away the supreme leader and the mullahs. We may weaken them. There has to be a long-term strategy to weaken this regime. We have to turn the internet back on. There has to be cyber warfare against the regime. Large payments we will make to Iranian officials and military officials who defect, and make clear to all the elites in the country, if you don't defect, we're going to kick your kids out of our countries. They won't be allowed to study in American or European universities. You may have heard that the children of some of Iran's leaders live in the United States.
Yeah.
One was a professor at a Georgia university, although she was just kicked out of her job.
Maybe we should take them hostage. I'm just kidding.
Let's expel them. Let's deport them back to Iran. They don't want to live in Iran. I wonder why they did.
I wonder why that is. But I mean, we shouldn't have to do this alone. I mean, you just talked about Germany. We just talked about Israel. Isn't it in the world's best interest, since Iran for 47 friggin' years has waged a terrorist war on the entire world? You would think they can't stay in power. Fred, this is an opportunity. There has to be. If you have the opportunity to bomb the railroad tracks to Auschwitz, you bomb the railroad tracks to Auschwitz.
I mean, it's really important to frame it that way.
Yes.
30 to 50,000 Iranians have been executed.
Unbelievable.
That's more than the Chinese killed in Tiananmen. This is a regime on the scale of the Nazis. They're that evil. Their diplomats shouldn't be admitted to the U.S. We should break off relations with Iran, kick them out of the United Nations, make it clear there's no place that's safe for the leaders of this regime. And look, Israel is with us. An Iranian nuclear site had mysterious explosions today, and I imagine that the Israelis are behind that. I'm sure we're working very close with the Israelis. It's just too bad that the Europeans don't have the backbone to support us in an operation like this.
Well, Scott Besson, who, by the way, is now my new official favorite cabinet member, he said he says, if you think you can move your money out of Iran and hide it in another country, you mullahs, you guess again. The United States is going to take that money away. You are not going to have a safe haven. You are not going to retire rich in Turkey. It's not going to happen. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I think he said that in Davos the other day. I have a feeling something very big and very heavy is happening because, I don't know, the same thing happened just off the coast of Venezuela a little while ago, a little targeted strike. And I think the same thing is coming to Iran. I think the Ayatollah better start looking at a place in, wherever on Zillow.
I think he has a very deeply buried bunker somewhere.
Yeah.
And I understand that they have spread out decision-making in the country because they're worried we may take out, or not just the U.S. and the Israelis may take out their leaders.
Yep.
It will be much harder to get control of this country. Even if we capture the Ayatollah, that wouldn't do it. This country isn't as incompetently run as Venezuela was.
Well, I think it's going to come real soon and real hot and heavy. I hope so. Anyway, I'm praying for the people of Persia. They'll walk free, because I was a kid when the Ayatollah came into power, and I'd love to see this. And Fred, you must admit, if this happens, if Cuba falls, if Venezuela has a free and fair election, this is as big as the Berlin Wall.
If this happens in Iran, it would certainly be as big as the Berlin Wall. This is a state-sponsored terror that has tried to kill the President of the United States.
Yep.
if we can take them out, we should.
Amen, brother. Fred, always great to have your expertise. Where can people find your glorious work online?
If you go to the AFPI website, AmericaFirstPolicy.com, you can see our foreign policy work and our work on many other America First policies.
All right, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate you.
Good to be here.
All right. Last night I was on the phone with Birch Gold. I texted him on Friday, 989898. My name Rob to 989898. Got a call on Monday. Last night got on the conference call, not only with the people who operate my 401k, and I've got some money in it, and I decided I'm going to convert it to gold because it's just been laying there for 6 years. It's gone up 20% in 6 years. What the hell? I can't retire on that. I know, what the hell? But gold, in the meantime, is now almost $5,100. Silver is $108 today. I've been seeing $300 silver by next year. $300 silver. So I got the ball rolling. We got all. I just got my email this morning. It says we got the ball rolling. We're going to be cutting the check, sending it over to the to Birch Gold, and you're going to be in like Flynn, baby, in like Flynn. Right now, if you want to transfer an underperforming IRA or 401k into a IRA in gold or other precious metals, just text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rebate for eligible purchases up to $10,000 by the end of the month. It ends in 3 days, so do that today, will ya? Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Claim your eligibility today. No obligation, just information, and get her done like I did last night. And I promise you, it's a very painless process. It was very easy. It was very, very easy. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All right. Hi, everybody. Let me see what I got to talk about here. Hold on. Let me grab some sound bites. Oh, yeah, I want to do that next. All right. Hi, Dookie Bear, Sport Tech. What are you guys doing today? Tom K. You guys have got going here. So he says, I'll absolutely mail beignets. Beignets. Isn't Mardi Gras coming up here? I saw somebody, when I was in the Capitol the other day, there was somebody carrying a king cake. Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. Is that February? Anyway. All right, Robert Lawson, what's going on over there on Facebook? And Carol Leftwich, good to see you guys there. Vicky Stevens, welcome. Squall White, nice to see you're there. Look at all the names, the new names on YouTube. Oh, my God. YouTube's growing by leaps and bounds. Timothy McNulty, Muhammad Ahmed, OC6 Ice are killers. Oh, yeah, you're a moron. Muhammad Ahmed Akabakalaka Mekaleka hi, Mekahini ho. You're a buffoon. But welcome to it. Guys, feed on him like piranhas on a calf's leg. We don't have time for stupidity like that on the chat. Jamie Belay said I did a good Rush impression earlier. Thank you. I've been working on Rush Limbaugh, talent on loan from God. It's not a great Rush impression, but it's pretty good. The longer he's been gone, the more I sound like him. Melissa McGroin still with us. Melissa McGroin. I watch all your movies. Melissa McGroin. Sport Tech Dookie Bear. Okay. All right. I got another break here to do before I depart for the day. Rasmussen is trending. Why is that? Historical. What? Oh, wow. Huh.
You have 320. Ken wants you to do some Newsmax.
Oh, yeah. I just noticed that Rasmussen is trending. Why? Because Rasmussen shows Trump's historic approval rating with Hispanics is now up dramatically. 28 points. 53-45. You know why? I don't know, because maybe he rescued the Venezuelan people from Maduro. Maybe the possibility of communism falling in Cuba. Maybe that he's machismo. Maybe a little machismo's helping that, and he's also winning on deportation. We heard earlier Harry Enton mentioning that the American people, by and large, want every illegal deported from the country. They're tired of being bee-slapped by the third world. So there's that. Pardon me. Let me grab a cough drop. President Trump is right about Newsmax. You watch Newsmax. Rob Finnerty did a great show last night. I don't have time for his monologue. Just really smart, really good. Never forsake their principles, their conservative principles. That's what I love about Newsmax. Newsmax is great. No Jessica Tard love on Newsmax. Yep, they are Newsmax 2. Also, you can stream that. People are downloading the free Newsmax app. I listen to Newsmax in my car when I want to hear Rob Schmidt. I just listen to it in my truck. Buck. I just stream Newsmax on the Newsmax app. It's really nice. Fastest growing news channel in America and around the world. Around the world. Get Newsmax on cable streaming. Download the free app today. Also, Newsmax Plus. Get a Newsmax Plus membership. I go there. You can get the archive of all my shows. Rob Carson's What in the World? You can get it right there. Get it right there. For those of you who wanted the amount of damage that Joe Biden did to our children with COVID in schools, here's Sarah Perry of Defending Education.
Well, and that's the way education works, right? So you build on one skill after another, which means you take algebra so you can take geometry, and you take geometry so you can take calculus. And if you're missing one of those essential building blocks, you lose the entire paradigm to begin with. In fact, I have 2 children right now in college, one of whom was a COVID cohort baby. My youngest has lost 2 years of learning instruction. I had to pull him out of school. He was homeschooled through an online charter program, then re-enrolled in a private school. I was told by an outside assessor, we don't think we can place him at grade level. That's how bad education is right now. And in fact, the International Journal of Educational Development published a study just 6 months ago saying we've lost 1.1 years of education.
What a gigantic bleep show the Joe Biden administration was, and the Democrat Party thinks they're going to win the midterms. Oh my God, that's fantastically funny. They haven't learned a damn thing. They are just the most corrupt ever. More fraud is being exposed. They're caterwauling, and their temper tantrum in Minnesota has done a face plant, a complete and utter face plant. It backfired on them completely. They're wrong about everything. I'm here to mock, ridicule, and make fun of them every day, and it's working. I gotta go. God bless you. America has founded Donald Trump as he makes the world and America much greater. And until tomorrow, which is Wednesday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you.
All right, Robbie, have a good night.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.